the champ of the mic on tonight. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One. He's the man.
Welcome into the Brilliant Show, and yes, we have a guest coming up. Matty Ice is about to pull up, but before we get to him, let's go ahead and check out and plug some things. We got Mark Out Moments with Palmwater Dave and Amy. Go check them out on YouTube and watch Talking Wrestling every Tuesday night, I believe, with Dave Miller, one of the top referees on the independent scene. Go check him out, and also show a little support for the podcast. Come on, get it up. Let's get those Brilliant shirts off the rails. The Brilliant Show Off the Rails t-shirt at brainbustertees.com. Also, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Audible, and many more. Give us that 5-star rating and review. Have I talked long enough? Or are y'all ready for the guest? Steve Dixon has not even commented yet. And he's right off the gate. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Come on. I know you got it. We got one like. Hit another one. Come on. Hit it up. Let's get it up. Because we're about to introduce. There he is. I told you. First thing out. It's usually Steve Dixon. No. Gato, are you and all 24 of your personalities going to be on here tonight? There you go, Stephen Dixon. All right. We're going to get it in. Without further ado, let's bring in Matty Ice.
What's going on, bro?
What's up, Matty? How are you, man?
I can't complain, bro. I'm here.
All right. So we've been talking. I've been talking shit, as they say. Or as people say, I've been talking shit. I don't call it shit. I call it facts, not shit. But you said, let's talk. We here. You want to bury the hatchet? I don't know what hatchet you got. I don't know what a hatchet is. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, what you saying, Stephen Dixon? But anyway, throw your piece out there first, and then we'll get to some stuff.
Yeah, man. I seen what you said and everything like that, and I just want to come on here. I think it's time enough for me just to let everything go and try to reach out to everybody, see what we can do together. You know, like you said, we can talk it out. We can go back and forth with each other. But at the same time, I think it's about time for everybody to like move on and just like let bygones be bygones. I know I've talked shit. I know y'all have talked shit. But at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just words. And I just want to move forward with it.
So you just want to move forward. Now, look. I just want to know what I said that was wrong that pissed you off. That's what I want to know. That what I said that was wrong. And then I got another analogy in there too. But I just want to get that out.
Like honestly, bro, you never said anything wrong. Like it wasn't you. The only thing that it kind of caught my attention is when you said that I'm unteachable. When you said I was unteachable, I don't know if you said something to me at the GCW show when the night me and Wes had that match. If you did, and if I shot you off, I apologize. It was a rough night. I understand that I messed up in that match. I moved on from it. But if you did try to say something to me, bro, I promise you it wasn't just me being ruthless or unteachable or anything like that. It's just that I don't remember you saying anything to me. The only people I know personally that talked to me like face to face was Koloff, Wes Warren, and Bobby. Those were the only three people that I remember talking to me at the show.
Hello, Silicon Dave. Let's see here, Retro. I'll get to that in just a second. What's up, folks? Are we going to all become BFFs or what? Well, we'll see. The night's still early. I hadn't even got to the IPAs yet, Retro Maniac. Speaking of Retro Maniac, he'll be on the show tomorrow night. We're going to be talking video games and stuff with him tomorrow night and wrestling as well, of course. All right. So, Matty, yeah, I did say something to you, but it wasn't. All right, here's the thing. So, the day of the show, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be straight up and I'll tell you straight up. I did not think you were ready for Wes Warren that night.
Yeah.
I've seen Wes Warren for almost 10 years, and Wes has been busting his ass on this, independent scene forever. And
Yeah.
what set me off about you at the time was you thought you were ready, like you were ready. I remember you cut the promo. And I told you, hey, give me a promo. I'll let you know what my thoughts are on it. You get me a promo one night, about 4 or 5 minutes long, and I told you, correct me if I'm wrong, you remember that is, that I told you cut it down some because you're going to lose the people after you get past a minute and a half. A minute and a half, you're going to lose people.
Yeah.
Then you come in, and I said, you're not ready for Wes. You've got when you get on that level, and it took Wes a while to get to that level. It's not like Wes just popped up there and he was there. But he listened to everybody that was around him to get him there. And I've told you this a million times too, that when Vladimir is talking to you, if you listen, he's not trying, even if it sounds like he's criticizing you in a bad way, he's really not. He's offering advice for you to check on. You may not have to agree with it at the time. This is my aspect of what I do. When I'm told I did something wrong, I say, yeah, okay, all right. And if I don't think I did anything wrong, I'm still going to go back and watch my tape. And that's what I do. I went back, I watched the tapes, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. I shouldn't have been running around the ring like that. I should have stayed in one spot. Or I shouldn't have been here. I shouldn't have been there. When he's doing these advices, and people can say what they want to say about the man, they can say he's a bully. They can call certain people bullies. They can do this. The problem is people play victim too much.
Yeah.
The thing is, I grew up in an era where my coach couldn't coach in this day and time. No, you did not miss the name calling Steve O'Malley. Have not got there yet. I'll go ahead and call him a Furby. That'll help you a little bit. But what I'm saying is like when people are talking to you, that's been in the business, because Koloff's been in the business 10 years. Wes has been close to 10 years. I'm pretty sure 9 or 10 years, whatever. In there. And I know it sounds stern sometimes, the way they say stuff and this and that, but they're wanting you to improve because they're wanting the product of pro wrestling to improve. And that night when you went out there would have been no different. It would have been no different with anybody else. That's the way it was. And yeah, you got some chops. Boy, you got slapped around.
Yeah.
But who hasn't? I mean, we're in pro wrestling, right? You have to take chops. I mean, hell, Koloff has beat the hell out of me. I'm going to get to these comments. They're coming in. I just can't. I'm trying to get what I want to say out. And what's up, Willie Buck? I'm just going to get to this in just a second. The comments are going to come. I want you to speak your piece while I move back up so we can get to the comments. But my thing is this. When you came through that curtain that night, and they did talk to you, I know, I was there. I was sitting, like, I think right behind Vlad. And then you went to your bag. You packed your bag. I said something to you. You did kind of blow me off, but I took it because you were pissed off. And I took it. I didn't take nothing. I didn't held nothing against you at that point. Okay? That was not, I will get into later where I held something against you. But no, I did not hold nothing against you that night. I just think you didn't handle that situation the way you could have.
Yeah.
Now, I'll let you speak real quick while I look at these comments.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I didn't handle the situation all that well either. I was more pissed off at myself than I was at anybody else. It's like with the conversation me, Koloff, and Wes had, I took everything that they had, and I understand where they were coming from. Yeah, the match was bad. It could have been better. Also, I like to add in, a lot of people a lot of people think that I asked for that match. I never asked for that match. Wes commented on a post I made, and I shot it to JD thinking that he was trying to work for a match. And when I ran it by JD, he said, yeah, Wes asked for the match. And then I was like, all right, cool. Then I asked Wes if I could run with it, and he told me to run with it. But the thing that, once everything was settled with the match, the thing that kind of had me more mad about anything else is that nobody sent me the footage. Nobody sent me photos, nothing. But within the 5 minutes after that match, everybody had clips and everything like that. Like in the rookie showcase group chat where we were all in. Even then, I tried to take Kolal's advice that he gave me after that night. Let it go. I don't want to hear nothing else from it. And as I was listening to Koloff, I let it go. And then when they started posting videos and memes and stuff like that, I went ahead and made my comment. Y'all have fun with it. I mean, at the end of the day, the chops, they suck, but I'm still here. It's not going to make me quit. I'm going to still do my thing, and y'all can laugh over it all y'all want to. And we moved on. I moved on from it, and here we are still talking about that match that happened a year ago.
Yeah. Well, it's over a year now. We're going to get to some comments. Let's see here. Now, this one will come up here. I know you know this guy. Matty Ice and his slander shit talking liar of a wife are both absolute scumbags.
That's fine. We can both be scumbags and everything like that in your opinion.
Now, it's one thing to talk about the wrestlers, but to bring their family in it is the quickest way to get your tea clocked. All right. Well, here's what I'm going to say about that situation. That's another thing. You're a man, right?
Yes, sir.
Claim to be, right? You do need to tell your wife if she don't want to get in the middle of stuff that she needs to not comment on stuff. I don't have and I'm saying this out of respect because I don't bring families into it. But as you saw in that comment right there, you brought your wife into it because she comments and she has to hold your balls on everything that you do. Listen me out. And in the years that I've been in the business, my wife has never once commented, has never tagged me in anything, and I don't want it to because she's not getting drug into it. She's not in the wrestling business. I don't want her in the wrestling business. Plus, my wife ain't taking up for me for shit. I can handle my own. If my wife looked at me and said, hey, I'm fitting to comment on this shit, I'm going to say, hell no, you're not. Because for one, which she wouldn't do it, but for one, she's not in the wrestling business. I'm not dragging her into the wrestling business. This is we got a lot of damn comments I can't get to. Let's see here. But what I'm saying is I could have made a lot of stuff out of what she said about me. But I didn't. I didn't care. You know, she said, oh, he's doing it for free. How does she know I'm doing this for free? You know, my Facebook and YouTube now, it's been monetized for years. I have a podcast that I still make money off of from years ago called King of Wrestling Podcast. It's been downloaded for over 1 million times.
Yeah.
All right. So you can't get mad. And Kaylee, Kylie, Angel, when you said that, you can't get mad when the wife is brought into the situation when she's put herself in the situation. We got a lot of comments here. I get to it, but what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to say this, you know, in a derogatory way, because there's a lot of things that, you know, JB said, MT2 said, you know, it's wrestling, baby. You've got to have thick skin. Do you think, how many times did a fan call me a derogatory comment? Do you think I get mad? No, but there is wrestlers out there that get mad for getting booed by people.
Yeah.
And they're called pussies. and people that don't need to be in the wrestling business. Now, let's see here. Matty Ice, what's up? Willie Buck says that.
What's going on, bro?
I have a keyboard and an Ultimate Warrior Hawaiian shirt, Matt Gibson. Okay, a Hawaiian shirt. I wish I had one of them. I want to see Matty Ice versus Brandon. I'm not a wrestler, MT2. I'm not a wrestler. I have gotten my ass whooped by many wrestlers, but I am not a wrestler. But if Matty wants a match, now, Matty, you think you can go 30 seconds before because I can do a hip toss now.
I mean, I'll probably get blown up within the first 10.
10 seconds. It ain't going to take you that long.
Nah, probably 5.
Yeah,
10 on a good day.
Silicon Dave. Wow, Facebook chat is toxic. Not surprised. No, it is toxic. Everything's toxic. What are you talking about? All right, now this is what I'm talking about right here. Hold on. But not what I mean. What I'm meaning is interjecting themselves into it.
Yeah.
Now, you give me your thoughts on that, and then we'll move.
I mean, I really can't say much because, I mean, she is her own person, and I can only do so much at the end of the day. I mean, I see where she's coming from as on the aspect of, like, trying to defend me. I also see where your point is with her interjecting in it also. But I feel like the reason why we're here where we are today is because me saying something to one person and then 5 or 6 other people jump in behind there. And it's like, all right, I wasn't talking to you, but okay, here we are. But at the same time, I feel like she's only doing what she thinks is right to defend her husband, her family, stuff like that. But like I said, at the same time, I understand where you're coming from too.
Well, yeah, and this is it. Yeah, you can't control her, but you got to remember something. You can't get pissed at people when they go after her either.
No,
because that's fair game. You have put yourself in there. Because I will defend my wife's honor as long as she's not in the wrong.
Yeah.
But if my wife gets in there and she says something about a wrestler that she has no knowledge of or nothing, she knows nothing about it, then that's on her. They eat her alive. That's why I want to bring up something else. And I want to ask this question because this is one of the things that really irked me. And I wasn't even in the business at the time. I was already out. I had sold the company and took my hiatus. But and I can't get in all these chats. It's going to take a while for me to get to these chats. So y'all are just going to have to hang in there for this. But that there's somebody that is like family to me. And he was there that night with West Warren. Vladimir is like a brother. He's more than a brother. He's family. Well, more than a brother, family, whatever. Why did you make the derogatory comment about him sleeping with somebody?
All right. I never mentioned his name when I said what I said to Elizabeth.
Well, that's because that's where the thing comes in with no balls. If you're gonna say something, I get with a worm who will say shit all day long but never tag anybody in. But as soon as somebody calls him out, his balls shrink up. He goes into a hole. I'm depressed and just bullshit. Here's the thing. Why and what made you type that out? Because it was very obvious what you meant about it. So
it goes back to the old saying, bro. Like if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. And with me not tagging his name, not mention his name, could go anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be him. She's not always around him. She's also around everybody else. So it could be more than anything. But at the same time, why I get so defensive over that when I was just shooting the shit because she jumped in when me and Gato were going back and forth. So why not take the easiest shot that could be grasped for to try to shut her down instead of arguing with a female and go forth with that. Now, I've told her, and I've apologized. Me coming off like that, yes, I was in the wrong. I shouldn't have said it. But at the time, it was just a quick jab to get under somebody's skin, not necessarily saying Koloff is, because I don't know. I don't know his personal life like that, but it was just a quick jab to piss somebody off because she was jumping in when it was between me and Gato in that post.
Okay. But now, here's the thing. I cannot condone when you accuse somebody of something like that without knowing any facts. And see, that's where a lot of people, including that little slimy worm, come in. They sit here and say, I'm talking shit. I want you to prove me wrong. And I'm not talking about right this second. I'm just wanting to say, somebody prove me wrong at what I'm saying ain't facts. You know, it's not talking shit when you're throwing facts. And my thing is this. There is so many pansies in damn wrestling now. They get their feelings hurt because somebody said a bad word about me. You're talking shit about me. I'm going to whoop your ass. And then when it comes time to whoop somebody's ass, guess what? You can't find them. Now, I'll say this about me. If I'm talking shit about somebody and you want to fight me, I will show up because they may be tiny balls, but I got them. And I will show up and get my ass whooped. I'm not saying I'm whooping anybody's ass. You take one look at me, hell, a cat could probably whoop my ass, but I don't care. When I say something, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I don't do cryptic messages. Never have. If I've ever had a problem with anybody, I always come to them face to face. And, you know, people say, oh, well, you're behind the mic. Yeah, but I'm saying names. And I ain't afraid. You know, and that I'll give you this. You had the balls to come on. That was all I said about JB. I've said that. But Walter will never have no balls. I don't like bringing his name up, but I have been trying to goad him onto the podcast. But when you're such a pussy and you will never be a man, you can't come out and face anybody. Now, let's get back to something else. What is some of your gripes that you want to say that's everybody's called? You know, what's your side of? Because I think didn't you say you were bullied at one point here in this deal?
No, I've never said I was bullied. I said they were trying, but I mean, if you don't give nobody power to bully you, they can't bully you. I think that's what started it on Shannon's post with him and Gato. Is like, as long as all I said was, if you don't give them the energy to bully you, they can't bully you.
All right, MT, I'm going to just say this. You're right. You say it's false, but let me just say this. You shouldn't bring family into it. But my point is this. When they put themselves in the spotlight there, they are fair game. That is the deal. Like if I go and post a picture on Facebook and Matty over here takes it and does something funny that makes me humiliates me, okay? I can't say nothing really about it. Why? Because I made that photo public. So that's on me. You have to have accountability for your actions. So yeah, if somebody gets involved and they get their feelings hurt because they were talked about, they should have kept their mouth shut and they wouldn't have been in it to start with. Because first off, this is called wrestling. Okay? There's a thing where you separate your wrestling life from your personal life. If you cannot do that, If you cannot separate those two things, you don't need to be in a damn business. If you get pissed off because fans are booing you or calling you fucking names, you're just a weak ass bitch. If you're supposed to be kayfabe a heel, man the fuck up. That's all it is to it. Next thing up. All right, Matty, anything else you want to say here? Because I don't got off the rails and ain't even got close to no damn comments here.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, it's okay to be wrong. Yeah, it is okay to be wrong. I'm always wrong. But you know what? I ain't stepping down. Retro Maniac. Sonic Mario there. Oh, Alexander Overton. Did someone say chops? No, nobody wants your chops, Overton.
Huh.
The business is rough, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The key is to better yourself as a professional in and out of the ring. Keep improving on your craft, understand your strengths, weaknesses, and open to constructive criticism. That's it. Constructive criticism is the key. Advice from others, and most importantly, continue to grow the love and passion you have for the business. Allow your talent and personality to outshine any of the negativity, my brother. You'll be fine. That is the key. Here's another thing that gets me. People have said that on this podcast, I am trying to create drama, that I'm trying to do this. I'm not trying to do drama. If I wanted to create drama, there's plenty of things I could do with drama. What I'm trying to do is show people that, playing victim and going and telling people stuff and not, you can go around and ruin people's reputations, because this is the next thing I'm going to get to. Now, I heard this from a friend of mine that you took on Nightmare Jeremiah one night, and there was a certain little worm running around telling everybody that Nightmare was unprofessional. He was hard to deal with and ungrateful. I don't know what all else was said, but here's my thing. Before we get into that, this is my thing. I've worked with Jeremiah on several occasions, and I would trust him with my body any day of the week, because at the end of the day, he's going to hurt himself more than he's going to hurt anybody else. And he's been in this business 20 plus years, and one of the top independent wrestlers on the planet. Now, I don't know what you said. I just heard what Walter said, and Walter shouldn't even be in the wrestling business, because he is a piece of shit that has no value to this business. And I don't even know where he thought he was a damn booker at. People are smoking meth these days and walking around like fucking zombies, and they hand people jobs left and right. And that's what they did with this. This dude has no business being a wrestler or anything. Now, I've never heard your name mentioned other than you were in the match. So where did all this come about? Did you hear this? And what was the problem with Matty Ice at MCW?
I didn't hear anybody say that. I can't speak on Walter. I don't know if Walter said that or not. I can't really confirm that, but me and Nightmare, we did have a match at MCW, and me and him, we talked beforehand, we talked afterwards. We really had in my opinion, a solid match. It might not be the best, but as far as where I've started and where I came to now, the match was, it was solid for what it was. And even me and Nightmare talked afterwards. I thought it was funny, but he kept telling me that he was going to shoot on me. He was like, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember who he said it, but he was like, yeah, they kept saying that I came here to shoot on you and stuff like that. And I was like, what? I was like, if they felt like you were going to shoot on me, why book the match? And he was like, I don't know, but he's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of you tonight, and me and you are going to go out there and we're going to have fun. And I mean, that's exactly what me and him did. I mean, I think we had a 10 to 12 match. It went 11 minutes, and everything was smooth. And like I said, I don't know what Walter said. I don't know if he did say that or not. But I mean, the only thing I heard was Jeremiah telling me that they thought that he was going to shoot on me because of the GCW stuff. But at the same time, if you're a booker or a promoter, why book a match with two people if you know one of them's going to shoot on them in a match?
Well, that's because he was playing booker. All right, we got somebody coming in here to say something.
What's up?
What's happening? What's happening? Last time we talked, you said you was gonna run fade on me, so I only got to tune into a little bit of it. I got to hear a little bit of your story or your side of the story about it. Feel free to enlighten me if you like, and I'm speaking solely on the me and you stuff, the me and you aspect of it.
All right.
Because here's the thing, I'll just go ahead and throw my little thing and throw it out there about why it became such an issue all that time ago. The match with West happened that night. It was what it was. Vividly remember, and you can tell people I'm wrong, but we both know I'm right, that I sat down with you. I went out of my way to sit down with you and talk to you about the match. And I asked you what happened. You said you got lost. I said, did you communicate that you got lost? You said no. I said, next time communicate. Even pulled Wes in, and we sat down and we talked about it. And everything was fine and good and dandy. Everything was cool. I was told that you left the building as soon as it was over with. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I was told. From that point on, a booking decision that had nothing to do with Matty Ice having a bad match or Matty Ice shit in the bed or anything like that was made that you were going to manage on the next GCW show. Apparently you didn't like that, and you left the group chat and unbooked yourself because of it. First of all, life goes on. How many times I have been booked hours and hours and hours away from where I'm at just to be on commentary that night because shit happens, or just manage somebody that night because shit happens. Not everything is because of something that happened on one particular show. Sometimes it's just the wrestling business. But that happened, and then from that point on, people started getting blocked. There were posts made, and yeah, people started dunking on you because whether that's right or wrong, that's what it was. People started dunking on you because the impression was given that you had a little bit of too much of an ego and were too good to be a manager that night for whatever booking it was. It was shortly thereafter with this match. And then it got spun into the issue with this match and blown out of proportion to make it sound like that somebody may have intentionally done that to you. Like it was planned to go out there. Like, first of all, Wes Warren is a professional, and that would have never happened. It happened like that night because a mistake happened. Let's be clear. I have made mistakes in the ring, and I've had the same thing done to me. I made mistakes just the other night. Like, it's pro wrestling. We're going to shit the bed no matter how good we are or how good we think we are or anything like that. That shit happens. But it was blown way out of proportion to the point that all this little gaga bullshit back and forth on Facebook. And the issue that I have on top of things, first of all, you say whatever you want to me at the end of the day. Look, man, I got people that go on live on Facebook and run their mouth about me about how supposedly I'm scared to wrestle them. Not true. How I'm supposedly holding them back from bookings. A veteran that's been in the business for 20 years supposedly believes that I'm the gatekeeper to his bookings, and that's bullshit. Like, at the end of the day, that's all on you, buddy. Like it has nothing to do with me. And you have my phone. You have my phone number if you want to call me and address it again, like we did 2 years ago. So I'm just throwing that out there. But the whole Elizabeth thing was thrown out there. Bro, you called her a whore right off the rip just because she chimed in on a Facebook post.
Okay.
Look, tell me where you have any business throwing that type of shit out there.
All right. Like I told Brandon earlier, it was between me and Gato.
Okay, hold on a step. All right, I am brave. Jason Heimel. Me and you have had phone calls back and forth over this shit, and me and you have not had any issue with it since then. But now you go on live, and you run your mouth about me. I haven't had a problem with you, but if we have to have a problem, we have to have a problem. I blocked you on Facebook because I'm sick and tired of getting random ass messages out of the blue, acting like that I have to go out of my way to address your issues with me that you have made up in your own mind, because I have not done anything to you. All right, sorry, Matty. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good, bro. But like I said, it's like I told Brandon earlier. It was like the whole situation with my wife. At the time, it was just grasping at straws, something quick and easy I can throw out there to make her mad and stuff like that. Because originally it was between me and Gato. Me and Gato was going back and forth. She chimed in, so I took the easy road and threw it out there. Now looking back at it, after I've done calmed down from the situation, I let months go by. I thought about it. I was in the wrong. I mean, I'm in the wrong for it, and I apologize for it. I mean, if she's on here, she can hear me. I've already told her before. I think the last message we sent is, hey, I'm just going to leave it alone. Don't talk about me. I'm not going to talk about you. And from there, we left it alone. But like I said, man, I was in the wrong for throwing the cheap stuff out there. And as time went on, I learned that I made a mistake. And yeah, you're right. It was blown completely out of proportion. Everything was just a bunch of yap and all that other bullshit. And I know in my heart you're not cheating, bro. It's like I know that you're not doing that, and I've been around you long enough. It was just a quick jab to piss somebody off because we were all going off on each other. But like I said, I'm man enough, and that's the reason why I came on here, so we can move forward with it. I can say my apologies, stuff like that. Y'all can accept it. Y'all cannot accept it. But at the end of the day, I want to get to the point where we can all just be like, hey, all right, we're just going to be good enough to leave everybody alone, and we're going to move forward with it.
I'm good with that myself. I mean, look, this is my thing. My whole thing is that the biggest issue that I've had with this is yes, obviously the name slander, and it's not just about Elizabeth. It is, but it isn't. But it's about the fact that there is a stigma amongst women's wrestlers that they break into this business and they're instantly called a whore. Especially like I'm friends with several of the female wrestlers around here. I'm friends with Lucy Blade. I'm friends with Kimber Fox. I'm friends with Stella Wren. Just to name a few. I'm cool with a few others. I don't know them like deep like that, but like there is a stigma amongst women's wrestlers. So it's not. Yes, it's about personally, because I do think Liz is a good person and she's my friend. But it's also a matter of just the stigma with women's wrestling in general. It's low hanging fruit, and I'm not cool with that. The issue as far as the night with Wes and everything like that I have concern with. The issue with me is that it Facebook, it's been made out like it was just like, oh, Matty had a bad match and the boys instantly just dunked on him, because that's not at all the case. It was how that night was handled, on top of how being booked, how the changing of the booking from wrestling for a match at GCW to just managing and then leaving the group and all that stuff was handled. It was more than just that. And I'm not. Let me just get it out, and then I'll let you say what you gotta say.
Right.
Like, it's more than just having a bad match. It's how the aftermath of everything went, and nobody's perfect. Everybody, look, people talk shit. Maybe they shouldn't talk shit, but at the same time, once it got blown out of proportion and people were shined upon in a bad light, that's where it pisses me off. Because these are a lot of people that I deal with that are good people, in my opinion. Just like if I was to say something about somebody that you felt like is a good person that you have good experiences with, you would feel the same way. And that's where I got hit. Before you say what you have to say, Jason, I'm going to say this one more time because you're in the comments and I realize that. 251-525-6448. That is my phone number. If you want to call me, if you want to text me, go for it. You want to believe what all these little underlings have to say and shit talk about me and give you the low-hanging fruit because they know that they can manipulate you and make you mad. I have had nothing to do with your bookings at DCW. I have had nothing to do with your bookings at AWA. I had nothing to do with your bookings at the GCW. Maybe don't go out through the curtain high on fucking shrooms to the point that you are reckless and you will be able to pick up your bookings. Maybe if you don't do stuff like that, you won't be unbooked. And it has nothing to do with me because I wasn't even there when all this went down. Okay. So again, 251-525-6448. I'm sure I'm doxxed now, and I really don't care. But I know you have my number because we talked on New Year's Eve. We talked on New Year's Eve 2 years ago about this, and I said the same things that I'm saying now. And we got off the phone cool, and then you come to an AWA show and acted all nervous and funny that night, talking to me to my face about it, and everything was good until you've made about 5 or 6 stupid little live videos where, of course, I don't have a chance to defend myself because I'm not even there or knowing about it until after the fact. So anyway, I've gone off the rails and I've doxed myself.
That's a damn show, man.
That has nothing to do with Matty. Matty, go ahead and say what you got to say. I'm not going to stay on here too much longer, but I want you to speak your piece to me.
You keep saying the managing spot with GCW. I don't know nothing about that. I've never known anything about that.
So let me clarify then, so to freshen your memory. Shortly after the match with Wes, we had a group chat for the GCW. Hey, I'm not the booker at this time. Yeah, I throw ideas out there, and I was a big help to JD. I wasn't even an owner of the GCW yet. I was just a talent. But yes, a show was out there where you originally were going to wrestle. You were booked. You were in the group chat, everything. Then the card got changed. I can't remember the specific reason, but I can tell you it had nothing to do with the match with Wes or anything to do with other than like storyline or whatever changes. The card was changed to where you weren't wrestling on the card, and you left the group chat. And shortly thereafter, started blocking people and made some post about your piece and everything like that. And maybe I'm getting timelines a little misconstrued because it was a year ago, and I've been hitting the head quite a few times. But I know that those things happened. Maybe not as close as I think they were.
I'll just say the reason why I left GCW is I text Bobby, I think a couple weeks after the West match, and I took some advice from some other people and stuff, just thinking about everything that went wrong with that match and how.
Jason, I haven't had a video where I've admitted to any goddamn thing. I haven't made a video where I've even talked about you. So sorry, Matty, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I texted Bobby shortly after, and I told him, I was like, hey, I just want some time away from GCW. It's got nothing to do with any of y'all or anything like that. I just feel like right now it might be a time for me to step away to like rethink on everything that I've done and everything like that, and also try to get the bad taste out of my mouth for what I've done in that match with Wes. And Bobby was like, yeah, that's cool. Just talk to JD. I talked to JD, told him the same thing. If people think that I left because of the managing spot, it wasn't that. It was just me focusing on something else to try to move on from the match I had with Wes last March. It wasn't necessarily anybody else's fault. And like I said, I don't blame anybody. I don't blame Wes. I don't blame you or anybody else like that for that match. I understand it was my mistake and my mistake alone. And I wanted to take your advice that you told me when we sat down and we talked, and you said, after tonight, I do not want to hear nothing else about the match. And that's what I did. I thought about it for 2 weeks afterwards, and I took some advice from my trainers and stuff. Maybe it is a good time for me just to walk away from it, go find somewhere else, wrestle for a little bit, try to hone in on my craft, practice a little bit more and stuff like that. Maybe later down the road when I got more confident with what I do and how I handle things, I could come back in there and be more contributing to GCW and stuff like that.
And fair enough. That's your perspective. It's just that everything falls like it falls, and that's how it come across at the time. And I can only really speak on my personal experiences with it. We did talk that night, and I did tell you, like, just, after, like, yes, obviously after a bad match, you're going to be on your head about it. But it's a matter of moving on from it and trying to do the best of the way. I did want to start a pot, but the pot got scared. Brother, no pot is scared or anything like that. But like, Jason, the whole point is that you have my number. Rather than going on live you can call me and we can discuss this. We talked a few months ago and I told you how I felt about the situation. You're not going to believe anything that I've got to say at the end of the day. So at this point, why am I wasting any more of my energy on it? If you want to come talk to me, by all means, come talk to me. That's like, I'm derailing this for a whole different. My point is, Matty, is like I said, it becomes a matter of just moving on from it and to investigate all the things you said about applying your craft and everything. A lot of this shit on Facebook didn't need to get to the point that it did. I'll give you the credit for coming on here and addressing it. That's why I'm on here addressing it now. Brandon asked me if I would be interested in it, and I figured why not. Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm at with it. Because see, again, just the Facebook drama is stupid. A lot of the times, people that have something to say would rather go make either a vague post about it or go on videos and say whatever, like a 3-hour shoot interview that was made about me and live videos that are made, and a lot of these people don't
it
even.
was took down. The video was took down. You know, you gotta
And
remember.
me and Michael have talked about it. Like we had a discussion after I did my live video. Me and him talked on the phone that night about it. But my point is like there's a lot of people that got something to say, but they never want to truly say it to anybody's face. And yeah, I'm over it. I think you're over it. I will give you your credit as far as getting on here and wanting to address it and yeah.
I mean, it took a lot because originally I didn't really want to entertain it, get on here and stuff like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We say things that we wish we can take back but can't. But like I said, right now I'm just at the point where I just want to get it behind me, move forward, and if we can all just respectfully keep our distance or just be respectful to one another and move on about it. We might not have to say hi to each other every day, but like, hey, look, I fucked up. Let's just move on from it.
I agree. I can't act like that. I don't. Matty Ice, brother, I'm proud of you. How much you matured and doing the right thing. Just remember, so you keep learning. And he's right. I look, man. Like you're gonna do your thing. I'm gonna do mine. I'm sure we'll be in locker rooms together one day. I don't have like I've spoke my piece on it, and that's truly my piece on it at this point. We've said what we've got to say. Michael, I saw your comments on here. We're good as far as that's concerned. Like I said, we talked about it a year ago. Unless anything's changed, we're good. I just know that it, like you said, just about how people say what they want to say. Trust me, I've been there. I've been dealing with it for the last few years, basically. I appreciate you, John. I love you. And the best advice I can give you at this point, as somebody who has gone back and forth with you on Facebook, is just keep doing your thing regardless. It's funny how this shit works, because I think in the last 8 or 9 months, I've let it get to me a little bit more than I ever would have. Because used to, I would just let the shit slide, and I definitely on different accounts don't acknowledge it, because at the end of the day, I want to be a professional and I want to do things the right way. What's up, Don? That's my guy right there.
Yeah, that's your guy. He didn't book me yet. That's your guy. He's the only one I've ever begged for a booking for.
Hey man, hey Don, book the brilliant one. Matthew Gibson, I think it is Sin Cara. I am Sin Cara. There's truly only a few people that I have an issue with. I have disagreements with plenty, but there's only a few people that I have absolute issues with this business at this point, because, man, I was just telling somebody earlier, like I'll literally just pick up my phone and I'll get a DM from somebody, and it's like, this person said this about you or that about you, and I'm sure you've experienced that in the last year too.
Yeah. Especially with all those shoot show pages and stuff like that. I just got
by the way, are you shoot show?
The shoot show
Are you
stuff, man.
shoot show? Are you shoot show?
let's throw that out there because you definitely were somebody that was suspected for a while to be the shoot show.
No, it wasn't me. I don't even know who it was, to be honest with you. It was like almost like it was like every other day I was getting messages from them. Hey, your tag team partner is talking about leaving you. Jay Carter said this. Jay Carter said this around these guys. And I'm like, oh man, dude, go the fuck home.
Sing Pet Shoot Show. That's who that is.
Yeah, I just talking about the internet drama, just the shoot show, the Gulf Coast shoot show thing. Them trying to go them trying to go after my throat, like literally. It's just funny. It just goes back to like how there's a lot of people that have stuff to say, but they hide behind. And I fucking love you too, Rob Cabela. But they hide behind like alternate accounts. Like my God, like I was telling somebody the other day, I can respect if somebody just looks at my face and tells me that they didn't like me or didn't or why they don't like me, or I've had people tell me they don't disagree with or they don't agree with how I do certain things, and I can respect that because it's just their opinion at the end of the day. But when you run around and back end and bullshit like that on Facebook, and then like come see me in person, it's like, hey Andrew, how you doing? That's the shit that gets me because it's like if you're gonna say it online, stand on 10 toes and say it to my face in person. Because one thing about me, I may like. You may whoop my ass at the end of the day, but I'm gonna stand on what I said. Michael, and here's the thing: I'm 100% certain that all those friends that you're referring to probably are, because that is the wrestling business. Somebody always has something to say. Somebody always has an issue with me, or not just me, but like people in general is what I should say.
He's not smart enough to do that.
I've come across enough of that to know that myself to be ever the more wiser about it. It's just a matter of having thick skin, and I do think I've let it get to me a little bit more in the last 8 or 9 months than I ever would have. But in the last 4 or 5 years,
I do own it.
4 or 5
That's
years
why
when
Matty Ice
somebody
is here right now.
the last 4 or 5 years when somebody's got something to say about you, and all you're kind of doing is just trying to do your thing. And Michael, you're guilty of that, but we've talked about this. Like we had a long conversation about that. Like you were a big proponent, you were a big person doing that for the longest time. When things blew up between us, but like when you're just trying to do your thing, after a while it does get to you, and we're all human at the end of the day. And I didn't think that this would become the whole big old kumbaya thing, but here we are. But all I know is if somebody has a problem with me, they're more than welcome to come say it to my face. There are a few people that have a problem with me and think about me way more than I think about them, and that's unfortunate for them because they could easily be doing their own thing.
Yep, I agree. I own up to everything. When have you owned up to anything, MT2?
Look, before I hop off here, because this is not the Andrew episode, this is the Matty Ice episode, and I've taken over a little bit, and I apologize. But I want to say what I had to say, and we could actually talk. I will give Michael his credit. A year ago when he did the video, and yes, I've memed the fuck out of it. It was Andrew. I have memed the fuck out of it because whatever, it's fucking hilarious. But when I responded a year ago, he called me and we talked for about an hour, and like he owned up to a lot of his stuff, and I'll give him the credit of that. And so we're good. We'll never be best friends or anything like that, but we're good as far as that's concerned. It's just one of those things. It's pro wrestling at the end of the day. You spelled semi wrong.
Yeah. There you go, MT2. You are retired.
But with that said, look, shut up, Amp.
Hey, Amp, I got a question for Amp. I hope you can put this in there. I'm as pissed off about Saturday where I saw you and I had to pay $70 to get there and not do shit. So tell me what your thoughts was on that. Anyway.
I was gonna say my goodbyes on here. Let Matty talk about what he's got coming up, and he said pretty, unless he wants to talk about it more. Like,
I got one more thing before you jump off, bro.
go ahead,
I'm
go ahead,
gonna
go ahead,
let you
brother.
know right now that once we get done with this, we say our goods, we Gucci and everything like that. I got no hard feelings against you. I hope the same for me. Once I get off here, I'm unblocking everybody, and we just gonna move on from it.
That's cool. I mean, this is what I say to anybody. Anytime I get a message like that, this is what I say: actions speak louder than words. Like, I'll trust your words for it. You ain't gonna hear nothing from me on it unless I feel like I gotta respond for some reason. I'm good with that though.
Just if anything comes up, bro, just hit me and hit me up, and I'll let you know.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, like I said though, man. Unless he wants to talk about it anymore, let him plug on what he's got going on and everything, and talk about his journey. Pro wrestling's a wild thing. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. I've had everybody, like, even before like I did what I was doing, I've had people say a lot of things about me that, and they would never say it to my face, unfortunately. And that's just kind of the business. Just y'all enjoy the rest of the show. Sorry for jumping in and saying my piece. I'm gonna go do my thing now, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you for stopping in. All right, Matty.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're still not done. We still got a couple of more sins to go through. Julius Williams is pulling up. Look at that. Kimber Fox. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna say this, dude. When you hit me up, said let's talk, let's do this. I know that you had to know that this was gonna, this is the way it was gonna go.
Yeah.
You had the balls to show up. You got here. You took your beating, which, in my opinion, wasn't very bad at all.
No, it's all just a misunderstanding, and I'm glad that we're able to like talk it out. Me and Andrew were able to talk things out, move forward with it, and stuff like that. I mean, that's the ultimate goal that I had coming on here. Anyways, just go ahead and bury the hatchet, move on with it. All of us live our lives. Like I said, we might not have to like each other, but I mean, at least we can be professional and talk to one another.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what everybody says. They think that this podcast is just drama. We're trying to create drama. This is not high school. All right, where I talk shit about you behind your back. I'm gonna do this and do that, and I go over here, and you come up to me, and that's just like the wrestling enthusiast. Shake your hand. Hell no. Matty, I'll go back. I liked you when I first met you. Me and you talked. You came and helped. I mean, I tried to give you any advice. I don't think I was ever really mean to you.
Nah.
Because I'm just not a mean person. I do talk shit, as they say, which is facts. But, I'm straightforward. If I got a problem with you, you'll know it. But that's not the same with everybody else. Everybody else will say, hey, doing this. The one thing I hate is people that tell you, oh, you did great, kid. You did great. But they're lying to you.
Yeah.
I do eat corn the long way. Is there another way to eat it? Anyway. But my thing is this. Now your wife's got a deal up here, and I'm gonna bring this up in a second, and not about it. But here's my thing, man. Like, I it's a privilege to be in wrestling. It's not a right. You're not entitled to anything. Wrestling owes you nothing.
Yeah.
So when you're here, you need to be humble, because we're all on the same level, no matter what we're doing. We just do different companies. We get booked by different people. Thank you, Corey. I'll probably hit you up later on that. But anyway, here's the thing: we're all on the same level, And I hate when people, and I don't really have no names to mention, but I do. There is people out there on the independent scene that do this. They look down upon you because they think they're better than you.
Yeah.
When we're still all on the same level. You're not signed by WWE. I'm not signed by WWE. I'm not signed by any major company. Except for the company that I work for that has nothing to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, I know I'm very humble. I tried to feed you. No, I'm just joking. But my thing is this. We're all on the same level. Nobody's better than anybody. Do we have better skill sets than, maybe I have a better skill set than you. Maybe you have a better skill set than me. But we're all on the same level. Because ain't none of us getting them big dollars. And the thing is, you have to be humble and respect things that go on. And I respect anybody that's come before me. Hell, I respect people that just got in business. I had a guy on last night, Jesse the Dragonheart.
I know Jesse.
I respect the hell out of him. Good kid. Got a bright future.
He's a hell of a talent.
I even respect Angel Camacho's brother, Alejandro. We just need a group hug. Yeah, we do. Suge White, I can fit 100 boxes of milk duds in your head. But my thing, I'm sure you can, Thaddeus. There ain't nothing in your head. Raza Rayleigh. Raza! He was the Brilliant Show spotlight today, Raza. We're going to have to get you on the podcast. I don't know about no shower. Don't drop no soap. But here's the thing, Matty. We're gonna get into you now that we've went through this, but my thing is just, man, stay humble. When I walk through the curtain, if a promoter walks up to me and they say, "Hey, man, I want you to do this tonight," I look at them and say, "Okay, sounds entertaining," because I'm not here to win or lose.
Yeah.
I'm not a wrestler, but I'm not here to win or lose. I'm here to entertain the crowd. And that's what I want.
I think a lot of people get hung up on the whole win-losses thing with
Thank you, Matthew Gibson.
And it's the same thing with I've seen people in like other states that I've wrestled, they get title happy, and it's like, why are y'all getting so title happy or being a belt mark? Because at the end of the day, the title really doesn't mean anything. It's just it's a work, and the title doesn't make you make the title, but at the same time, it's what we do is like a work. And a lot of people get hung up on that and they think they're top shit when it's like we're all the same, dude.
Exactly. I mean, and the thing about it is like I try to shake everybody's hand when I go into anywhere I'm at. Let me see here. I got something going on. I know exactly what you look like under the mask. Oh my God. People are fudging. Anyway, so here we go. Stay humble. Ears open. Or no, mouth shut, ears open. There it is. And you're right. Why do you get tile happy? Cheers, Brandon. Cheers to you, Rob Cabello. I've got something coming up for you, Rob. So we're gonna talk here shortly. But just stay humble. Mouth shut, ears open. You learn. And when I said you were uncoachable, I don't know if I ever explained it. Did I even explain it?
I don't think so.
All right. So here's what I mean. That night, I'm just sitting here trying to help you. And I know I had no business giving any advice on what you should do in the ring. And I wasn't trying to give any advice on what you were doing in the ring. I was just trying to let you know, hey, listen to the people that do know.
Yeah.
And I know you was upset that night. And who don't get upset? But I think a lot of this drama that's on the Gulf Coast that led into all the shoot show stuff, everything was like that. Because Wes Warren, I'll say this, I've always, I always like Wes. Wes has always been great. He's a great talent. Vladimir, always a great talent. There's a lot of people I look at and I think, these guys could be on the next level. But there's a reason I look at them that way is because they put the work in. I mean, it's not a weekend warrior thing. Oh, I'm going to go do this on the weekend. It's a 24-hour, whatever I can do to improve myself. They're in the gym. They're doing this. I mean, it's not a, like I said, weekend warrior thing. It's 24 hours a day. But I do want to get into this. You didn't take over. I mean, we had fun. We've been on an hour. We still got another 55 minutes to go if Matty Ice wants to, because we're going to jump into some things. Mama said life is like a box of all right, now Forrest Gump. Now get on out of here. Do like Colonel Sanders. But Matty, let the listeners, and we'll get into that. Let the listeners know how you got into wrestling, and what was kind of your inspirations growing up.
How I found myself into wrestling is kind of crazy because I was working at Domino's before I started, like a year before I started, and I met this guy that I think the world of. He's like one of my biggest mentors because he told me he used to wrestle back in the day, and Ryan Fury knows him, and we were just shooting the shit on the couch watching. I think we were watching Money in the Bank a few years ago, and I was like, man, I really want to do that. Like, I'm sick of my job. I'm tired of working long hours with crappy pay. I was like, dude, I got to do something with my life, man. It's like I'm going nowhere, and I don't see myself staying at Domino's forever. And he was like, well, I know a guy that wrestles. If I get in contact with him, I'll let you know. And that's all I heard. And then I forgot about it for like 3-4 months. And then out of the blue, he texted me. He was like, hey, man, I got this guy. I just delivered pizza to him. He wants you to contact him. So Ryan Fury was the guy that I talked to, and he told me, hey, show up to the Revolt show tomorrow, and we'll get everything started. It's the night that he had Cody Deaner there. I got to meet Cody Deaner, told him, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Not real too sure what I'm going to get myself into. And he gave me some words of encouragement to go on forth with it. So Ryan introduced me to Brandon Nelson, where I got with Slammed Academy, worked out with Slam, and everything like that. And, I mean, that's pretty much how I got into wrestling. It's like one of my biggest inspirations for doing that is we used to go watch Bray Wyatt wrestle all the time, and I still to this day I try to do stuff that I've seen him done that he did. I try to interpret it into my own style and try to live like that dream of having to being a wrestler, and also just moving forward with all that.
There's Rob Cabela. Good on you, Matty, for doing this publicly and committing to change and bettering yourself as a worker and as a professional. Best of luck, dude. Respect is everything.
I appreciate you.
It really is. And, Rob's another great guy.
I met him. I think I met him once at the GCW building.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's a great wrestler, great musician. He's just great at everything, I guess. Speaking of that, we're going to talk about Rob coming up soon, but hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button on the video, I got to bring up this. I was talking about your wife earlier, and then we're going to get into some of your other stuff and whatnot. Your wife says, when have I jumped in business drama? Well, I'm just going to say this and not trying to be mean. When he popped the comment, anything that says wrestling on it is business. Like when he put the post up without tagging me in it, and you said that I don't get paid, that's inserting yourself into business. Whether I get paid or not doesn't matter. I mean, maybe hell, I like to jump on here and do this. There's a lot of teenage mothers that go down there and jump on a pole every night. Not all of them get paid. It's not bad. Maybe I love doing it. I want to hear Rob's new music. Well, go hit it up. I'm telling you right now, Rob's great. What is it? It all burns, right, or something like that. Let me see what it is because I know I was listening to some of it. Stuff. They got some good stuff coming up, and Rob's going to be back on here very soon. But Rob is great. It all burns down. That's it. It all burns down. So yes, if you marry a man, is it better? I've never married a man.
Oh
So I don't
no,
know.
Alejandro's on some weird stuff.
Alejandro is always on weird stuff. But here's my thing. Like, and I'm not saying, I mean, here's my thing. You can comment, you can talk about it. But you can't get mad when you get brought into it. Like, if I go out there and I say, Matty Ice, you're a furry bitch. And you respond. Guess what? I'm not going to back down. What up, Matty? There's Michael Miller coming out of the woodworks. And Michael Thomas said, I'm going to check it out. Yeah, you check it out. What up, Matty? Michael Miller. I guess he found some cell phone service or something out of his cardboard box that he's living in. Brandon Turner, can you tell me where you get your suits from? Yeah, I can. Did you hear me? Is my wife jumping on any workers' post? No, Shannon, she's not. But Walter said some things about her. All right. So let's get back into it. Now, who did you say? Now, when you was growing, was the Money in the Bank, was that the first time you seen wrestling, or did you had seen it before and had some favorites?
You broke in and out, bro. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Damn, I hope this ain't messing up my mic. I don't know what's going on with it. I said, was Money in the Bank the first time you saw wrestling, or did you see it?
Money in the Bank was just that. I think it was Money in the Bank 2020, 2021. No, it was 22. Money in the Bank 2022. That's just where me and my friend was sitting there watching it, and I was like, man, I just want to do that. But I used to watch wrestling with my grandfather, WCW, WWF, people like Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, Perry Saturn. I mean, just those guys, like early 2000s stuff. I mean, that's when I really started paying attention, is like the early 2000s. I remember being like 6, 7 years old, coming home, watching Raw or watching Nitro and stuff like that, and just going back and forth with like the cruiserweights in WCW and some of the bigger guys at WWF, Stone Cold, The Rock.
So you was gravitated more to the cruiserweights?
It was something like that. It was like I had my favorites, and like one of my favorites that I used to grow up watching was just I was just so drawn to like Chris Jericho, especially like with his Lionheart stuff, with WCW. And I go back now to now with some of his older matches, like when he was in New Japan as Lionheart and he was wrestling Chris Benoit's Wild Pegasus and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what it was about Jericho, but it's like every time Jericho was on there, I would sit there and watch.
Shannon, someone get Walter to the Mobile Fairgrounds next Saturday night. I have $100 bill for whomever can get him there. I'll, of course, take care of the rest. Woo! Look at that. Shannon going to pay some bills. All right, so what I don't get is, though, how can you gravitate to, like, cruiserweights when you failed Jenny Craig 12 times?
I'm sorry, what was that? You broke out. You broke out again.
Damn, am I breaking out that bad? All right, I said, how can you gravitate to cruiserweights when you failed Jenny Craig 12 times?
I mean, sometimes it be like that.
Jericho is a storyteller. That is true. Who is Taylor? And checking phones with the traditional one.
Uh-oh, somebody's in trouble.
Uh-oh. Crispin what? Man, Alejandro, you trying to bring up some... And it like, we're a day or so away from when all that happened. So, like, that's crazy. Let's see. Matty Ice is a cruiserweight. Yeah. What
I'm
weights he
working on
cruising?
it. I'm
What's
working on it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. From I've started working out and I started like taking care of myself, and I've changed my diet. I've stopped eating past 8 o'clock. Drinking more water, cut out sodas. I went from 270 on May 19th to today. I'm at 255. So I mean, I've been gradually working on myself and stuff like that, trying to get myself down to where I need to be at to look better in the ring, also feel better altogether.
What do we think about Iran? Well, I think Iran screwed themselves. I'll just say that. Matty, what you think about Iran?
I really don't get into it, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't get into politics, but I'll just say this. If you go and bomb somebody, and then somebody comes back and bombs you, and then you cease fire, well, I should tell you what it means. Let's see here. Bray Wyatt rose from the dead. No, he hadn't yet. I mean, you can say that. On the real note, I was one of the first to put you over as the cold, Matty Ice. I seen something in you in the early days in your career. Keep working, man. You'll get there where you need to be. What's your thoughts on Shannon Henderson?
I have no issues with Shannon. Like he just said, he put me on for the first time, and it was actually I was a fill-in. Somebody couldn't make it, and I had to wrestle Keith Cash, and I was excited. Like I know the match was like only 5 minutes, and at the time I really didn't feel like I was ready. But you know, in that moment, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going up against somebody that I know. I'm going up against somebody I train with, so me and him can work on something while we're at training, make sure everything is good. And we had our 5 minute match, and Shannon put me over, and I thank God for Shannon because he's the one that really started everything out and gave me everything that I needed to like be where I'm at today. Because without him, I wouldn't be here today.
Ryan Gill, no, you're not in the wrong live. You're in the wrong chat. Check the screenshots. Are you aware of ROW's Matty Ice? You know who he's talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Now you got to look at it this way. When it comes to Matty Ice, that's a common name.
I got nickname. I got that nickname as playing basketball for my high school. So my high school coach gave me that
I thought
name.
it was from the meth. I didn't know it was from.
Got me.
I'm
Good
just
one.
messing. I'm messing, buddy, because you know Ice. But anyway, here's the thing. There's only one original, and that's the brilliant one. Nobody copies the brilliant one. I mean, what can I say? I'm great. Let's see here. You know, everybody's got. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Sit back and talk shit. It's okay. That's all Sing Pet does is talk shit. Ryan Gale Goofy. Okay. So 50 more pounds and you're a cruiserweight.
Thought it was like
Yeah,
yeah,
he's from
205.
Breaking Bad. I don't know about John Wick, but he's from Breaking Bad. What was that now?
Yeah, 205 is cruiserweight.
Yeah, so you are 50 pounds away. Yeah, F Iran. If you don't like the United States, I'm sorry, man. We live in the greatest country ever. I don't give a. Oh, here comes Brian in here. Brian, booty in the air. What is up with my audio? But anyway, old DJ hanging out. I got you a Yingling, DJ. There you go. All right, Matty. So let's get to a couple more things and then we'll close out.
All right.
So when we set this up, me and you have not talked about it. I sent you the graphic, and then I told you what time I was sending you the link, and that's about all we've talked.
I mean, we pretty much just one worded text. It was like you sent the message. I said it looks good to me, and I mean, it wasn't really into detail because I mean, I figured you and I both would want to just talk it out more through like this instead of over text messages and stuff. So I mean, we really didn't talk much, but we understood that the conversation needed to be said.
Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, I feel. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was nervous at first because, like, I really didn't know exactly what I was gonna get myself into. But I mean, once we started talking and everything laid out the way it did, I mean, I'm fine now. I'm glad that this went the way it did, and I'm glad I reached out because now we have a better understanding between all of us, and like I said, we can all move on from it.
Now I got one more question for you.
All right.
Are you content for me? Or was there something worked out here? Because some people think that I have to have them on for content, which I don't. You know, a lot of people can just, you know, here's the thing. I'm trying to work things out.
Yeah.
And talk shit or tell facts, whichever one. Is that why you come on here? Because I needed content, or do you think it was going to help you?
No, Brandon, I know you very, very well, and just because I come on here I don't necessarily think that you need content. I mean, if you was going to get content, you would be able to get bigger names. I mean, I'm just Matty Ice. I'm just a kid from Birmingham, Alabama that wrestles. I mean, if you were going to do something for clout or more content to bring more views in, it wouldn't be with me. It wouldn't be with Matty Ice. It'd be with somebody bigger or more known, somebody like that. Not me.
Well, and nothing taken away from you. It's just, you know, if I was really trying to find some content, really try to get myself boosted, I would be trying to get somebody that could give me the views. Yeah. That could do that, which you did tonight. But you know that Matty do the here's thing. What's the here's thing?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, you do. You just don't want to admit it. Everything is content if you listen to the best. Everything is content, but what I'm saying is, MT2, come on, open your ears. Like Walter's worthless piece of trash ass. Do you think that that's really going to bring me to stardom? Hell no, it's not. It's not going to bring me to stardom. So it is content, but he ain't going to make me famous.
Nah.
All right, so
hell, I'm not going to make you famous either.
And so, I mean, it's just like, you know, on the end, this is to try to confront the people that, you know, talk shit, see if they got balls. If they don't, which we know Walter hasn't because he hasn't come on yet, and he's been given plenty of opportunities. He never will. And you know, the bad part about it is, as much as I call him out, even if he come on here, I don't know if I can carry that podcast because we know he can't talk. I mean, he sits here and talks. because he can't get it out. He thinks he's entertaining, but he's not. Nobody gives a fuck. Walter is not content. No. I can tell you right now, Walter's not content. He looks like the Mad TV guy. That's about the best thing he's got going to him for content. Well, it's going to take a positive turn. What did you think I was going to do, Silicon Dave? Just browbeat him and not give him an opportunity to talk? No. The thing was to talk things out, to bury the hatchet, to get things out there. I'm not bringing him on here just to shit talk him all the way down and bury him. I brought him on here to tell my side, for him to tell his side. Maybe we find common ground and we meet there. So that at the end of the day, it's about everybody getting along and contributing in Gulf Coast wrestling and wrestling, independent wrestling abroad. That's the whole thing. So, Jay Smiles, the giggler, Mr. Giggles. That is, they call me Green Goblin because I can gobble on your shiz. No, you're Giggles, Jace. You're Giggles, son. And let me ask you this, too, with Carnage. All right. I know you're a big Spider-Man fan. Do you know I was playing that on Super NES before you was born?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that video game.
From the Super NES. Oh man, I beat that game like when I was like 10 years old, 90 years old.
I'm still working on it and stuff, and like with old Carnage thing, I am a huge Spider-Man fan, and I just wanted to bring that light to what we did, and I thank God for Jay too, because me and Jay, we came in, we had the understanding of what we wanted to do with it, and once we got there, it took off. Like I wasn't expecting for it to take off as good as it did, but it took off, and we got over as heels, and now we're moving forward into being baby faces with it, and it's like it's kind of challenging me because it's originally something to be heels with, but now it's baby, and now it's working just as good as being a heel with it being baby.
Oh yeah, and that's great, man. And see, that's what I'm saying. You got to find things, and I'll tell you something else. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm a fan. I love Jay Carter. Dude looks like Denzel. He's built great. He looks like a movie star. You can't put nothing against him. I tried to get him to come into AWA when I owned it, and he come a couple times. But dude's got it. I mean, he's got the look. And y'all just keep doing your thing, man. And hold on. Question: where does the name come from, and how did you come up with Matty Ice? I already said that.
Well,
his name is Matty, and he did some ice, and he came up with Matty Ice.
I got it in high school. I played basketball in high school, and we were playing summer league, and I scored like 3 3-pointers back to back, and my coach just kept calling me that. Come on, Matty Ice, I need you. And I was like, all right, well, it ended up sticking, and everybody around my hometown in Bay Minette, that's all they know me by is Matty Ice. They don't know me by my real name or anything like that. They just know me as Matty Ice.
So they don't know you as Kobe Bryant? That's a shame, man.
Oh, man.
Before we get to that, we're gonna talk some basketball in just a second. But if you have not, check us out. Subscribe to us on Facebook. It's 99 cents a month. That's less than $12 a year. We're gonna give away 2 things June 30th from our store on Brainbuster Tees. You can get a shirt, stickers, hats, whatever. 99 cents a month, less than $12 a year. And you got a chance to win merchandise each and every month and help support the podcast. Keep us bringing this great content that we're bringing you tonight right here with Matty Ice. Also, check us out on Brainbuster Tees and get the official merchandise of the British Show. Brainbuster Tees, we're right there on the front page. Hit it and check it out. We got a new shirt out also. Off the Rails, the British Show, Off the Rails. That's a great design right there, I might say.
Yes, sir.
Where were we at? I lost concentration.
Basketball. You said you were
Oh,
supposed to talk
basketball.
basketball.
All right, so we're talking Kobe, but I want to ask you, man, like last night, I was doing the show, and I looked at it at halftime. Indiana's ahead 48-46, I believe, somewhere in that area. And I'm just sitting there thinking, man, they're doing good. And then I hear that Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles. And I'm like,
Oh yeah, I seen the video of him doing that pivot step to move forward, and his Achilles just popping. I feel for him. I feel for him because I know how bad that right there hurts. And
oh, yeah. Well, there's no doubt it hurts, but here's also the thing. And I think I said it on the podcast last night with Jesse Dragonheart. As soon as Tyrese was announced out and the Pacers were up by 2, I'm sitting here thinking they're about to lose by 20.
Yeah.
Because once Halliburton, not taking nothing away from Siakam, the Pacers are way ahead of schedule. They should not be where they're at right now. They got lucky by getting there. Halliburton was a big part of that. When he went out,
and I think that his journey through the playoffs and the finals, I think it just wore his body out, and his body finally gave out on him.
Yeah, because he was trying to hold that team together. Now, who was I rooting for? I was rooting for the Pacers, and I was rooting for the Thunder. I didn't care. I was just glad we got a fresh matchup in the NBA Finals, and I was glad to see that OKC could pick up their first NBA championship. And if the Pacers won, I was going to be happy either way. So
yeah,
my team's never going to win.
OKC, they won their first championship since they transitioned from the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah. Does this mean the 2025 Thunder better than the – yes, it does.
Obviously, they won a chip.
Yeah, they won a chip. Here's the thing. You go back to the 2013 OKC, and I still don't think they can compete with this KC. You got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You got Holmgren. The offense is there. You got Dort and Holmgren. The defense is there. This is an all-around team. Back when Durant, Harden, and Westbrook was there, it was all offense. There was no defense. That's what kept them going.
If Chet would put on like 30, 40 pounds just of raw muscle, dude, he would be even better than what he is now.
My pants are not on. I don't think you're seeing my pants in the glass. I don't have pants on. Let's see. But, yeah, I thought that – I was glad that the Thunder won. If the Pacers won, I'd have been as happy as too. But, man, because I'm an NBA guy. My team is the Atlanta Hawks. We ain't ever winning shit.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and be honest with you. I've been a Hawks fan since Mookie Blaylock was there. Spud Webb. It ain't happening. So
I got respect for the Atlanta Hawks. They're missing. I don't know what they're missing, but they're missing something. It's
they're
like
missing
back when y'all had Al Horford and everything like that, Jeff Teague and all of them, and y'all made that deep playoff run and got stopped by Miami. Everybody swore that y'all were going to be the ones to take on Miami and beat them.
Well, here's the thing. We had Al Horford, but, man, Horford was on the back end. Like, he's really on the back end now. Jeff Teague was great, but he wasn't a star. I think we had Joe Johnson at that time, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Joe Johnson. I think y'all had Joe Smith, too.
Yep. And my thing was, man, we always had that team. Now, when we made that run with Trae Young, and we had, I think it was Trae Young, we went deep in. We wasn't even supposed to get there. We got to the conference finals against Milwaukee. It was the year Milwaukee won.
Yeah.
And, like, we busted up in there like we was going to go to the finals, and then, shit, yeah, it didn't happen. But I still hold hope. I'm still going to root for my Hawks as always. But Matty, hang in there for just a second, brother. We'll get back with that. Hold on. Let me see what we got. Brandon Turner ducking me. I ain't ducking you, Jay Smiles. I can't duck somebody that short. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Plug a few things, and then we'll get right to it. Thank you for joining us here on the British Show. As I just want to say this. I'm not coming here to talk shit to down somebody. You spelled Trey wrong. Lost me money on prospects. I'm sure he did. Yeah, don't ever go with him on prospects. I had him on DraftKings a couple times. He did good. I'm not coming here just talking shit and trying to create drama to get content. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to put a spotlight on real life stuff and hold people accountable. That is all I'm trying to do. And have them come on the show and voice their grievances. If they can do that, great to them. Matty came on. He had the balls. JB had the balls to come on. Anybody that called out, you're not going to hear me talk about shit about somebody I don't know or been around. These are experiences that I have, personal experiences. So I'm not talking shit. I'm just spitting facts. And a person like Walter's like a cockroach. No matter how many times you spray that raid, that fucker still comes back. And still has no respect or anything for this fucking business. And he does not belong here. Yeah, I am a shit starter, Daniel or DJ. I am a shit starter. And I love being a fucking shit starter. I guess that'll be my new name. But anything, if you can point out something that was not fact that I said when talking shit about somebody or putting facts out there, let me know. Tell me where the lie is. That's what I want to see. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, join us on Facebook, 99 cents a month. You get a chance to win merchandise twice a month. It's less than $12 a year. So check it out. And hit that subscribe button and follow us here on Facebook if you have not. But thank you for joining us right here on the British Show. We'll see you tomorrow night. We got Retro Maniac. Thanks for answering on the name, Matty Ice. Keep up the good work, Brandon, as well. Thank you, Corey. We'll see you later on that one. Fuck Walter. That's like I say it all the time. Yeah, fuck Walter. It's worth it. All right. Thank you for coming on. Y'all have a good night. We will see you tomorrow night with Retro Maniac. Have a good one.
Lights blaze bright, it's a glorious sight. The champ of the mic owns the night. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping